Namaste, good morning. Um, Today's practice is going to be on releasing fear into love, freeing fear into love. So we'll start our practice this morning. Sitting in a comfortable seat. Bringing the word fear into the practice. Then simply softening into the word fear. Acknowledging parts of your life that might be kind of making friends with fear. It could be our relationship, it could be finances, it could be social isolation, it could be our health. Yeah, fear of getting sick or a loved one getting sick. So at this moment there might be a lot of fears, there might be just one, there might be no fears. So simply just acknowledging, accepting that yes, there are some fears around, there are some fears within. And then simply see if you can release fear like a helium balloon, maybe a red balloon with a string, and you're holding on to the end of this string, and you can just kind of release fear just the same way you would kind of release a balloon on a string, and you would see it how it kind of floats up into the sky above and disappears at one point. So just keeping that idea in mind, the idea of releasing fear, or kind of allowing fear to escape, or setting fear free, or transforming fear into love, transforming fear into love. In such way, we're going to bring movement into the body. So we'll start with our fingers. Just bring the fingers together and then kind of spreading the fingers wide. And then we'll drop into our wrists, and the same thing, you can make wrist rolls if you wish with your fists, or you can have your fingers open as you make your wrist rolls. So wrist rolls here, we're releasing any kind of fear, tension, holding in our wrists. And then we'll drop into the elbows, so just opening and closing at the elbows, opening and closing at the elbows. This releasing of the fear, any kind of toxic energy, any kind of thought that doesn't serve us. And then we'll drop into our shoulders and coming into shoulder shrugs, bringing the shoulders close to the ears and dropping them. Shoulders close to the ears and dropping them. And from here we'll make circles. Shoulders circling one direction, maybe backwards. And then shoulders circling the other direction. And then we'll open our arms nice and wide. We're going to come into cat-cows. As we exhale, the palms either face one another or face down onto the floor. And as we inhale, we'll open the palms up, facing upwards, open the chest nice and wide. As we exhale, palms are going to face down or towards one another. As we inhale, lifting heart and chest, palms face up. Exhaling, rounding our spine. Inhaling, lifting heart and chest, maybe arching the back. And again, 2 more cat-cows here. Next time we're going to come back into a neutral spine. We'll place our right hand on our left knee, placing the left hand somewhere behind us, gently twisting to the left. We'll start with our sit bones, into the tailbone, into the lumbar spine, finding ourselves in that thoracic spine, in the cervical spine. The last thing is our gaze. So find a little point on the floor, on your mat, on the wall. Lock your eyes with that point. And again, you can label that point fear. We're just going to simply smile at that fear. And then from here, we'll drop our eyes and move away from it, turning away, coming back to center. We'll try the other side. It's the same thing. Left hand sits on our right knee, right hand behind us. And again, we'll twist this time to the right. Sit bones are pressing into the ground beneath us. Spine is nice and tall. Shoulders away, jaw is soft. We've twisted to the right. We find a gaze point, or a point, or a drishti, a focus point. We lock our eyes. Any kind of fear. And then simply letting go of that fear. We'll drop the eyes and come back to center. From here, we're going to come into all fours. So find your way to hands and knees. And we'll do our cat-cows. As you do your cat-cows, see if you can bring movement into your feet as well. So each time, maybe when we exhale, we can place the tops of the feet into the floor. And as we inhale, you might like to place your toe pads onto the floor. Exhaling, tops of the feet on the floor. And then inhaling, maybe the toe pads into the floor. Again, bringing a bit of softness into our wrists, elbows, shoulders, into the neck. From here, we're going to come into our calf stretches. So again, in all fours, we'll straighten the left leg behind us. Left toes press into the floor beneath. We'll bend at the elbows and you're going to find, ooh, a nice yummy calf stretch here. We'll switch. Left knee touches the floor. Right leg straightens behind us. The same thing. We'll come back to center. We'll tap our toes or feet on the floor. Tap, 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 tap. Releasing any kind of fear from our steps, from our path, from moving forward. And then from here, we'll come to sit on our heels. So take your time. You might walk your knees close to your hands or your hands close to your knees. And then gently sitting on the heels. Tops of the feet are touching the floor. One more breath here. And then we're going to come forward. This time we're going to place the toe pads onto the floor. So toe pads touch the floor, and then we'll come back and sit on our heels. Again, we'll come forward. This time we're going to place the left foot on the floor, and the right foot comes and sits in the belly of our left foot. The right foot sits in the belly of the left foot. Ooh, leaning back, sitting on our heels, on our feet. A nice big release for the meridians, any kind of pressure points in the bottoms of our feet. And then again, we'll come forward, and this time we'll try the other side. Right foot touches the floor, left foot sits in the belly of the right foot, leaning back, sitting on our heels. Staying calm, staying calm. And then we'll come back to all fours here. Again, into our cat-cows, or any kind of movement you're hoping or your body's craving. Rocking hips from side to side might feel nice. Making chest or barrel rolls might feel delicious. That might feel wonderful. You might like to come into dancing cat or making circles, bringing your hips close to one heel, the other heel, and then your weight onto one palm and the other palm. Thank you for all the love you're sending me. I see your beautiful hearts on the screen. And then we'll make circles the other direction. And then finally from here we'll push into down dog. So it's our first and only down dog this morning in this practice. Placing toe pads onto the floor, palms are nice and wide, pushing earth away, and we'll find ourselves into down dog. Once you arrive into down dog, you're going to soften at the elbows if that's possible. Move your shoulders away from your ears, pushing earth away as if you're pushing a car out of the ditch. Heel toeing our feet. And remembering dogs just don't look straight ahead. They look a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. They might even like to lift one leg off the floor, so that might feel nice. One leg lifts and then the other lifts in any manner, in any way that feels good. All right. So finally from here, we'll place the knees back down onto the floor. We'll walk our hands closer to the top of our mat, and we're going to come between three poses. As we exhale, we're going to drop into child's pose. As we inhale, we're going to come back into all fours. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the pubic bone close to the floor in this high cobra. You can even bend at the elbows if you wish. Again, inhaling back into all fours. Exhaling into child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, this high cobra. And let's go two more. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Releasing any kind of fear, anxiety, tension, holding, worry. And then once you've done your second or third one, you're going to come back to center and find a way to come to seated. So I usually cross my legs back there and then I sit behind my legs and my legs come forward. So you might like to do the same or find your way back to a seated pose with your legs stretched in front of you. A little bend in our legs as we inhale, lifting the arms nice and high. As we exhale, reaching forward and then coming into a forward fold. Arriving into our forward fold, your fingers might touch your toes. That might feel nice. Kind of grab your toes and release a few times. You might like to massage your feet. That might feel nice. Your fingers might touch your shins or calves. That might feel good. A bit of a massage might feel nice. And of course, it might feel good to just gently massage our thighs, the hamstrings, back of the thighs, the quads, front of the thighs. From here, we'll roll onto our back. And once you arrive onto your back, keep your legs bent, gently rocking our knees from side to side, side to side. Feet are on the floor, massaging the soles of our feet, massaging our glutes, our piriformis, our lower back, mid back, upper back. You might feel this massaging in your shoulder blades. Your head might start rocking from side to side, looking the opposite direction of our knees. And then we'll slowly, slowly come back to center, lifting our feet off the floor. Knees will come into our chest. Once the knees come into your chest, automatically you might place your hands on your shins behind your thighs, or you might decide you don't want to touch your legs. You can rock from side to side. You can stay still in this position, squeezing the knees in your chest and releasing. That might feel lovely. All right. So if you're rocking or if you're in stillness, we'll come back to center. We'll let go of the legs. We'll start straightening the right leg up into the sky above. We'll bend the right leg. Straightening the left leg up into the sky above. Bending the left leg. We'll go back and forth, bending and straightening one leg at a time. And the next time, once you bend your legs, keep them bent like this and bring movement into your ankles. Flexing and pointing at the ankle joints. Toes point up, toes point towards the bottom of the mat. And then we'll make circles with our feet. Feet are circling one direction, circles the other direction. And finally dropping into our toe joints, flexing and pointing at the toe joints. Beautiful. This is it. Last is a few little bit of core movements here. We're going to tap the toes onto the floor, lifting the feet off the floor, knees come into our chest. Tapping the toes onto the floor, lifting feet off the floor, knees come into our chest. You can keep on doing this if this feels good with a nice neutral spine without rounding or arching our back. Or you can bring your shins parallel to the sky above, tap your heels onto the floor, and then shins parallel to the sky above. That might feel better. Or you might like to go full on and straighten your legs away. And with straight legs, lifting and placing the legs back down onto the floor. So 3 more breaths here, working on our core muscles. Any kind of tension that sits behind that belly button. And then once the body says, I am done, I feel good, you can bend your legs, place the feet back down onto the floor. Take a few breaths here, soften, soften, soften. You can massage your tummy one direction, massaging the belly the other direction. And then we'll roll onto one side and come to seated. So again, if you have any kind of restrictions, your hair, an elastic band, a watch, anything that feels uncomfortable, it's a good time to take it off your body. A blanket might be a good idea around you if you wish, or a shawl or a sweater, something a little bit more comfortable. And we'll start the meditation side of our practice. We'll bring palms to heart center in Anjali Mudra, Prayer Mudra, or Gratitude Mudra. Between our 2 palms, there is a place of darkness. There's a place of darkness, a place of warmth maybe even. We'll place our fears here in this place. So just bring all your fears to mind at this moment in life. Okay, we'll place a smile onto our lips, smiling at our fears. And then gently this Anjali Mudra is going to turn into Lotus Mudra. So 1 finger at a time, except our our thumbs and pinkies. Besides that, the other 3 fingers in the middle are going to come apart from each other. The index fingers come apart, the middle fingers come apart, the ring fingers come apart, and then your palms spread wide open, and you'll find lotus flower. The lotus flower sits at your heart center. Lotus comes from the mud, from the muck, from the dark, from the discomfort. It makes its way all the way up to the surface of the water, to light. And then it blooms wide. And as it blooms wide, there's no trace of dirt or mud anywhere inside the lotus. In this lotus flower, we're going to place a picture of someone we so dearly love. This could be a human being, it could be an animal being. So in the middle of the lotus flower, place the picture or bring in a being that you love, maybe you respect, someone or some being that brings you into a place of calm and peace. Okay, and then from here the palms are going to turn into a book, as if we've opened up a book. So palms will face up, your pinkies and the outer edges of your palms are touching one another, but your palms are facing up to the sky above, just like a book, as if you're reading a book. Look at your palms, look at your fingers, look at your hands, look at your wrists, maybe your forearms. From fear, we've moved into love. We've brought a person that we so love, maybe admire, maybe respect, maybe trust, maybe cherish into our practice. And this person is here with us, person or being. And then then from here, we're going to separate the book or separate our hands, placing one palm on our right thigh and the left palm on the left thigh, palms facing up. The fingers have joined one another. You can make fists if you wish at this point, or you can still keep your palms wide open if you prefer. So in the right hand sits us, ourself. This is the self, this being, this beautiful self, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic self. And then in the left palm sits our loved one, the person that we brought into the practice. And again, if you wish, you can curl your fingers inwards. The fingers might curl in, your fingers might completely come into a fist, or you might decide, no, it feels good to stay somewhere right in between. Not a full wide palm and not a fist. Okay. We have dropped into a place or into a practice called Metta. It's a love and kindness meditation for ourselves, for our loved one, and for all beings. And there are some words here attached to Metta Bhavana or love and kindness meditation. At first we enter our heart center. We'll drop into the sternum, the bone between our two rib cages, our chest center, and then from there we're going to go a little bit deeper into our heart. We'll just sit here into this beautiful human heart here as it pumps, as it beats, as it drums for us. The smallest heart lives in the heart of the fairy fly. It's a type of wasp. And the biggest heart sits in the chest of the blue whale. So just noticing hearts in all beings. And then bringing your attention back to our own heart. And we're drawing energy and love from our own being and from the person that we invited into our practice, or the being we invited into our practice. In Metta Bhavana, there are certain mantras or certain words you might like to repeat. And I have a few offerings for you this morning, and it goes like this. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be free from self-inflicted suffering. May I be free from self-inflicted suffering. May I be healthy in body and mind. May I be healthy in body and mind. And may I know that I am not alone. May I know I am not alone. So sit with these few words for about a minute. Nice big inhale here, nice big exhale. Soft belly, soft jaw joints, tall spine. And then we'll bring our loved one, the person or the being that we invited into our practice, and we kept in our left palm, we kept in our heart, we kept in this space around us, the space within us. And this time we'll go, may you be peaceful and at ease. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be free from self-inflicted suffering. May you be free from self-inflicted suffering. May you be healthy in body and in mind. May you be healthy in body and in mind. May you know that you are not alone. May you know that you are not alone. And from here we're going to bring our loved ones, our family members, our friends, our tribe, our soul sisters and soul brothers, people that we connect with, people that allow us to be who we are, people that make us shine, people that bring us happiness, peace. At the same time, we'll bring strangers in, we'll bring people that are going through some sort of suffering, people that maybe we don't connect with, people that maybe constantly test us and push our buttons. We'll bring strangers, we'll bring the entire universe into this practice. And again, we'll give them Metta Bhana as well. And I'll go like this. May we be peaceful and at peace. May we be peaceful and at peace. May we be free from self-inflicted suffering. May we be free from self-inflicted suffering. May we be healthy in body and mind. May we be healthy in body and in mind. And may we know that we are not alone. May we know that we are not alone. So 2 more minutes here, and we'll sit about a minute just in silence. Here we'll slowly open our palms nice and wide. We'll gently lift our hands, bring our palms to heart center. We'll come back to that lotus mudra with the hands. All the fingers come apart except our pinkies and our thumbs. The bottom of the wrists meet one another, the palms spread wide, noticing that beautiful lotus flower. You can place it on the crown of your head. The lotus sits on the crown of the head, wearing your invisible crown, dropping the crown of compassion, self-love, peace. And then from here, we'll allow the crown to seep into our skull, into the fontanelle, dropping into our thoughts, into our mind, as we draw our hands closer and closer to our face, into our lips, by our throat, into our chest, and then all the fingers come back together in Anjali Mudra, prayer mudra, or gratitude mudra. We'll bow our head to our hands, to our heart, to our body, to our mind, to our breath, to our beautiful soul and spirit, to our past, our future in this present moment, to our fears, and to the love that we're going to give each fear. Allow the fear to melt away and fill it up with love, with trust, with being present. We'll gently place a smile onto our lips. We'll open our eyes and we'll start our day with positivity, without any sort of fear. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.